Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I am covering the news. We're going to be going over all things happening in Bravo. We got Cynthia's wedding. We got Kelly Dodd's wedding. We're going to talk about Brandi Redmond from Dallas, Garcelle, NeNe, Bethenny. So many things to talk about, so let's get into it. Hey guys, I just want to take a second and say if you're enjoying this show, please check out my Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Real Housewives Recaps, or check the comments below and I'll put a link. And for $1 a week, you can support my show and get 4 bonus episodes per month. I'm covering Scary Island, like the greatest season of Real Housewives in New York. So check it out. Thanks so much. On October 10th, 10/10/20, Cynthia married Mike Hill. And I wanted to remind you guys of what this engagement looks like, engagement ring, because wow, it's incredible. It's supposed to be about $85,000. Holy cow. This was her wedding dress, exclusive to People, and she looks gorgeous. I don't know about this dress. What are your guys' thoughts on this? It's showing a lot of stuff, but good for her. She looks fantastic. She seems really happy. Good for them. They got married in front of 250 people. Holy cow. In Georgia. This was her other dress that she changed into here. Some of the attendees included Karen Huger and Giselle from Potomac. Of course, a lot of her Atlanta castmates were there. Eva was a bridesmaid, and hello, can we talk about this hair for a second? Holy cow. Reminds me of Dr. Seuss' story. And Kelly Dodd also got married, 10/10/20. Seems to be a popular date. Here's her ring right here. And they got married in Napa Valley. They just said they had limited number of guests. They didn't release the official number, but it didn't look so limited to me. Supposedly, Dorinda was supposed to be officiating it. No word if that actually happened. If you remember, they met at Ramona's house. I believe it was her Hampton's house. They met at a party. So congratulations to them. She wore a black dress. Moving over to really tragic news. Brandi Redmond has come out with news this week that her mother-in-law just passed away, Brian's mom, from a car crash, and her daughter, Brinkley, was in the car. Luckily, thank God, Brinkley survived, but the mother-in-law did not. I couldn't find any further details, and we'll just leave it at that, but it's absolutely tragic and gives me chills to think about. So sad for the mother-in-law, and I'm glad to hear that her daughter is okay. Moving over to New York, this is Ebony Williams. She is 37 years old, and she has just signed on to be a cast member for Real Housewives of New York. Ebony is an attorney, but she's also a television host. Also, when I was researching her, I found out she does some radio hosting as well, and has a show on Diddy's network. She put out a statement saying, "New York City is filled with successful and dynamic black women. I'm excited to join this legendary franchise as the first black housewife. I can't wait to share a slice of life in the city that hasn't been seen before. Anyone who's aware of my work knows I don't hold back. I'm going to keep it just as real here as I do everywhere else." So I'm excited to see how that plays out. I think that's fantastic. We already knew that Leah signed on for another season, so I loved her, so I'm excited to see how Ebony will work out as well. Going over to Beverly Hills, we have Garcelle. Garcelle just confirmed that she is returning for a second season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yay! So she says she's ready. She does address the dreaded second season curse and talked about how rough it was for Denise, who just went through hers and then quit the show. So she says she's nervous, but she's ready. So I'm excited to see how that'll work out. Don't love Beverly Hills, but I did like Garcelle. Going back down to Atlanta, let's talk about NeNe. So we know that NeNe's been in the news a lot lately, making statements about Andy Cohen and fighting with Wendy Williams and just being pissed off. So she's now put out that she will be opening a new restaurant in Atlanta. She shared this photo. It's going to be called Lenithia. It's in the Atlanta area. And she says, the restaurant and lounge is located just outside of Atlanta in the suburb of Duluth. Valet, live music, small bites, Sunday party brunch, hookah, grown and sexy night, TV, 21 and up. So if you guys live in the Atlanta area, let me know how it is. Let me know if you go. It seems like a weird time to be trying to open a bar, or a restaurant, but good for her. Hope it works out. So speaking of NeNe, over at Tamara Tattles, they are claiming, not me, they are claiming, and I think it's funny, so I'm just showing you what they're talking about, that they have a source that's saying NeNe asked for $125,000 to show up to Cynthia's wedding. What? Tamara Tattles is also claiming that's the amount she was asking per episode to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta, $125,000. So don't know if that's true. It's an interesting story, and while I'm not a NeNe fan, I used to be a NeNe fan, but I haven't been in the last couple of years. She just kind of lost her fun for me. I think that's interesting. What would be the benefit, though, of being paid to show up at Cynthia's wedding? That part I don't really get. So what are your thoughts on that? Bethenny Frankel is also in the news right now. They're reporting that she and her boyfriend, Paul, I don't know how to say his name, Barron, I guess, who have been together for about 2 years, have recently split. I found this on Us Weekly. They claim it happened a couple weeks ago. They supposedly met in Boston. He's, I believe, from Boston, so I do remember her talking about going to visit him there. And yeah, it's unfortunate. So it sounds like they have split up. It is interesting, though, because she just released that information just weeks ago about still being married to Jason. I just wonder if one has to do with the other in any way. It's just interesting. Going over to BravoTV.com, they want us to think that something is going on with Below Deck Bugsy and Alex. I don't know that I buy it. They're saying that there's an intriguing new development with them, and they're not ruling out the possibility of maybe striking something up. But if you listen to the Watch What Happens Live with Bugsy, she was actually talking about Alex potentially having hooked up with Anastasia. Do you remember her from Below Deck last season? Below Deck Med. She was the third stew that ended up being the chef. Listen, I like them both. They're probably my favorite two on the show, but I don't think there's any. I just don't think Andy Cohen said if it didn't happen on the boat, it's probably not going to happen. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But, if they want to get together, I think it's fantastic. And this one's not Bravo per se, but since I cover Selling Sunset, I just wanted to mention Davina left the show. Yay! I don't mean to be petty. She's just my least favorite person on the show. So, yay. I'm looking forward to the next season, minus Davina. So, People is reporting she joined a rival firm, Douglas Elliman. So, best of luck, I guess. And that is it for the news. That's all the stuff going on with Bravo this week. So, I hope you enjoyed it. It's so fun to look up all this stuff and see what's going on with everybody. Thoughts and prayers to the Redmond family, their tragedy. That's awful. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.